Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today with yet another end of year video in which I talk about the worst books of 2021 or the worst books that I read in 2021. See, to put in a disclaimer at the very beginning, I don't mean that these books are the worst, you should not read it. No, nothing like that. It's just a clickbait title. But what it means is that these were the books that disappointed me the most. I did not like reading these books. It's a matter of personal opinion. So before you jump to conclusions and say that how can you call this book worst? I did not call it worst. I'm doing it for the algorithm. I just mean to say that these books that I'll be talking about in this video did not work for me. I was disappointed by them. Okay, now that is out of the way, some of these are pretty disappointing. Like, you've seen me rant about them before, but it was very obvious that they would make it to this video as well. So I think that was a loop that I just spoke in. Anyway, without wasting any more time and without further ado, let's dive right into this video and let me talk to you about the 10 books that I read in 2021 that disappointed me a lot. We started off strong actually. Right at the very beginning of the year, I read, I don't know what it's called. Is it a novel in verse? It was called Here is the Beehive by Sarah Crossan. This was a review copy from Bloomsbury, India, and I did not like it one bit. It perpetuated the notion that infidelity can be excused. But my thing is that, okay, there might be certain circumstances under which you can excuse it. I mean, that is like to the last worst case scenario and all of that, but don't glorify it. And in this book, in Here is the Beehive, I found that the author was doing exactly that. That book was something that I was like this for most part of. This is the first book that made it to this list. The second book was another, what do you call it, crowd favorite, you could call it. That was Shuggie Bain by Douglas Stewart. Yes, even I was shocked that such a huge book, such a well-loved book, I think it won the Booker also, no? I did not like it that much. I don't know, I'm like, am I dumb? Am I like, don't I understand things? Shuggie Bain is also one such book that sort of, it dragged and it talked about alcoholism, and I know that when someone writes a book like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are supporting it. It could just be an account. But when such a thing happens over like 350 plus pages, it just doesn't work. Like, it talks about Shuggie Bain, who's a kid whose mom is an alcoholic, and his relationship with his mom, his relationship with his dad also. His dad is pretty abusive, and his siblings, and how all of this shapes the kid. I think if you're naming the book Shuggie Bain, then tell me what's happening from Shuggie Bain's perspective. But instead, all we see are glimpses of him from someone else's perspective, and I didn't find the point of that. Next up is a book that I did not expect to dislike this much, and that is The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga. This is told from the perspective of a driver, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and how he calls out the rich people in their tones. Like, he talks about the rich people in a very aggressively condescending manner, but the whole narrative sort of felt very vengeful to me. I mean, it was trying to make a point, and it did make that point about rich people and capitalism, and how there's a divide between the two, and how the poor work their way up, and how much of a hard work they do. It sort of perpetuates the notion that unless and until poor people become criminals, they cannot make money. Next up is a book that I DNF'd, but I want to add it here because it was indeed one of the most annoying books I've ever started on. It's not just annoying, it's also very sexist, and the main character is a huge a-hole. The writing itself is so sexist and misogynistic. Okay, I realize I haven't told you what the book is, and that book is I Am Pilgrim by Terry Hayes. I read about 67-70 pages and I was like, what is this guy on? Who the heck does he think he is? This is about the... I don't even know what the book is about. I started to say this is about such and such, but I don't even know what the book is about because I saw red right from the very beginning. It is so sexist in its thoughts, in the way it puts it forward. Like, the main character is very macho and he is the hero of the story, which is okay when you're writing a book like this, but at least don't be a sexist pig when you're doing that. And that's exactly what happens in those few pages. Every other page, he has something to say about women. Like, whenever there's a woman in question, like there's someone in a position of power, he has to put her down. And I'm not talking about the main character. I'm talking about the author's way of writing. And I know after this that I'm never going to read Terry Hayes again. And for a fact, this is one of the worst books I've ever read. Next up is a book that I did an exclusive review for my channel members. Channel memberships are no longer there, which sort of hurts my heart. But then again, this book is called Star Daughter by Shweta Thakrar. Look, I appreciate the author's effort or attempt at trying to incorporate Hindu mythology and turn it into a sort of fantasy that will go on to this huge level. But when you don't have high stakes, there's no point in the story where the reader is attracted to it. You have a competition that's going on. And what is the competition? I can't even remember. The author brings in nakshatras and a lot of other mythological stuff and concepts and terms. But what does it do to the whole plot as a whole? I'm so angry at this book. It just does not make sense. Next up is another review copy that I received from Pan Macmillan India. This is called Before She Sleeps by Beena Shah, and this felt like a Pakistani Handmaid's Tale. I know I shouldn't be comparing the two, but it just gave me that wannabe feels, that vibe that I got from the whole book. It talks about how women in a dystopian world, women are... There's a band of women who is offering comfort to rich men who can pay up. Where do I even start? Like, if you had to write a book about women who were doing something to keep their position in society as a strong one. I know comfort is hard to come by these days, and perhaps in their own way those women were right or whatever. If it worked for them, it worked for them. But to again slot women into caregivers and comfort givers and all of that, that is something that to this day grinds my gears. The writing is also okay. Like, it's not fantastic or fantabulous, but it's not bad either. But this is what I did not like at all about this book. All it does is slot women into the roles that patriarchy has already done. Next up is a book that I was initially kind to, but in hindsight, I feel like that was one of the mehest books that I read in 2021, and such a letdown as well. That book is Mapping Love by Ashwini Iyer Tiwari, and this is the story of a girl who is abroad and who, when her mom dies, she doesn't return to India, but months after that she comes back to find her father is missing, and now she goes on this whole quest to find her missing father. And then she meets someone on her like whole road trip throughout North India, and then she almost instantly falls in love, which is a big no-no. Insta love is... I don't like insta love. What is she trying to do again? See? That's the thing. There's no point. Like, there's a lot of stuff about travel and self-discovery through travel, but there's absolutely no clarity. The language is not that great. I've heard such amazing things about Ashwini Iyer Tiwari's works on screen. Like, she is a well-known director, but the book that she's written, it just does not make sense. There's absolutely no rhyme or reason to it. However much she's trying to bring that strength, that weight to the words that she's put on paper, it just does not happen. It's very annoying. I would just say no, don't read it. Trust me on this. I usually never say don't read this book. It's very rare that that happens, but this is like... Next up is Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris. I had read B.A. Paris's book Behind Closed Doors and I really liked it. It's very creepy, it's very dark, and it's very spine chilling, that particular book, because it talks about domestic abuse. And I thought this one was also going to be a book that I will end up liking, but did not happen. I was just so pissed off. I finished the book at around 3:30 in the AM and I went on my Instagram stories and ranted about it. This is the story of a woman who goes missing, and then years later her to-be fiance at that time is now engaged to her sister. But there's something dark roiling in the background, because something is happening and clues are coming forward which indicate that Layla is coming back. What will happen to the people involved in this whole story, to the characters involved, her sister, her ex to-be fiance, and how their whole life is going to turn upside down, or is it going to turn upside down? That twist is just, how can you not know? Like, how can he not have seen? I mean, maybe a person in a particular situation has blinders when it comes to what's going on around them, but then again, this is too big. Like, it's just there right in front of you. And the fiance, who is sort of has a very hot temper, he kind of gets away with something. I get it, I get you, but was it really necessary? I feel like I've spoken in a very disconnected manner, but this book is like that and it just made me so very angry. Next is another thriller which I thought wasn't much of a thriller, and it ended up talking in loops, and I was like, am I the only one who finds that this particular book is going in loops? Am I the problem here? Because I'm the common factor between the last book and this one. The book is The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This also made me really angry because the husband character in this is a huge D-head, and I just wanted to smack his face and throw him in jail. And this is also another book in which the authors went for this whole thing where the twist at the end makes you very angry. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil a thriller for you, but it just, that twist, I actually saw it coming, and I also thought that it could have been done better. You cut half the book out and it could have been such a cracker of a book, except for that ending as well. You just feel so angry. Justice, where is justice? I need justice. Anyway, I feel like I've jinxed myself this whole year, in the sense that thrillers haven't been really working for me. So I just want to give some others a try before I actually make this blanket statement. So let's see what 2022 has in store for me. Last on this list is a book that was on my 21 books I want to read in 2021 list, and I was really excited to read. It's called Men Explain Things to Me by Rebecca Solnit. I listened to this as an audiobook and I am so angry at this book because the way in which the book starts off, and you know from the title that you are going to read a bit of things about the author's experiences with men explaining things to her, mansplaining. Like, it's very light-hearted. The author takes it very lightly, I felt like, in the sense that when someone says something to her or explains something to her, she and a friend start giggling. If you're going to write something like this, at least don't make light of it. And then that bitter taste is left throughout the book because the author has this feeling of not all men. Like, that not all men undertone is there throughout the book. She almost says it as a disclaimer that I know that not all men do this, but I know that not all men are like this, but I mean, don't do it. Don't not all men us. Please. And that is what made me so angry at this book. You are literally supposed to debunk some of these, denounce some of these. Oh, but maybe it's your book, you do whatever you want. Who am I to say anything? You see how bitter I am about this whole book? But that's because I was so excited to read it. So those were the 10 books that I read in 2021 that I did not like at all. They disappointed me. It's a personal opinion. They didn't work for me. Maybe they'll work for you. I've told you my opinions about the books. And yeah, which of these have you read? Which ones do you want to read? Which ones would you want to add to your TBR? Which ones are you going to add to your wish list? Are you going to add any of these to your wish list? Which were the worst books that you read in 2021? Which books are you most excited to read for in 2022? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.